This is your post-election market review pre-FOMC meeting. Let's go. Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well. This is Dan Max at EXP Realty, aka the Trading Agent, and this is your daily market review, Wednesday, November 6th, 2024. The day after the election, which surprisingly was over probably before it really even started. We talked about how the odds were showing that DT was likely going to win. However, the surprise, in my opinion, was just the sweep and the sheer performance by that party to put the House and Senate in his pocket, essentially. So we'll see how it all plays out. Market definitely bounced more than expected, but here's the thing about trading. If you didn't see it coming and you just played the I don't know and assume what's going to happen game, you learn your lesson. This is why we talk about hedging or taking profits or managing trades, because in the end, you don't know anything for sure. And if you did, you'd be a billionaire. And so I would be a billionaire again. If you know everything for sure, gosh, you could never lose. That would be amazing. So going into the rest of the week, this is what I was warning people. You have the Feds. And so clearly the market pricing in some sort of Trump change of the economy. And again, I'm going to go on record. If he's going to bring in all of these people who are very fiscally conservative to start cutting spending, it's not going to be a clean revival. Now, again, the market can price in the worst and then go. I just don't think we've priced it in. I think if you really are going to do what they need to do, which is cut government spending, I mean, you can try to cut taxes. I get that. All that'll be beneficial, but it's just not going to be easy in the near term. And you have the Feds worried about inflation, so it's a double whammy. And again, speaking of Feds, you have an FOMC meeting tomorrow, which, again, I'm not surprised that the market did what it did today. I mean, held up pretty darn well. Again, if you had some positions you had to stop out of, hey, I get you, man. Financials, like that makes no sense to me, but we'll see what happens ultimately. So if you're new to the channel, check out the Discord room. Again, I pray that whoever is watching this, again, has the mindset of, hey, I have to be a risk manager first. It's not, I'm going to assume I'm always right and that trading is just easy and you just sit here and you go, it's all good. Everything's going to be easy and I don't have to do anything. So, all right. Well, what do we know going in Fed next week? So, if you need to chat, not next week, tomorrow, hit me up, Calendly. 2 agents for the price of one. If you're looking to buy, sell, invest in real estate, please don't hesitate to reach out. Posting all of our trades, ideas, and thoughts. Again, talked about Tesla filling the gap in 290. I mean, gold, all the stuff we said. Certain things were looking certain ways, so please be careful. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'd appreciate it. Again, it seems that again, a lot of people would love to check out the education and trading videos, but they don't, and that's okay. If you have a question, don't hesitate to reach out, but I imagine there's an answer there. Also, too, check out the website. Tons of resources here. Let me know how I can help. So we know going into tomorrow, it's basically a lock, one cut. We'll see what happens after that. 99.8%. That's the key. Bitcoin, look at this. Did you expect that? I mean, I personally didn't. And that's the thing. It just is what it is. And now a lot of people would say, well, is that a breakout? Yeah, on paper, it looks like it is. Sorry. I mean, people are talking about Bitcoin to pay off the debt and all this stuff. I'm like, okay, I don't know. This is the one thing I will say about Bitcoin or any trade that's up today. Make sure it follows through. If you're long, roll up your stops. Do not assume that something somehow can't change at any point. I just, that's my biggest concern with some of this, because again, if you were going to implement the cuts, the ideas, the thoughts, the processes to slow inflation, you're going to have to slow down growth. It's not going to be easy. So please be careful. Oil, I mean, I think, again, Trump winning, again, I don't really know how it affects oil downside. I will say it takes the odds of geopolitical risk off the table, in my opinion. I'm pretty sure that's all shutting down pretty soon. People don't like to hear that or think he can do it. The guy, again, guy who's not scared to wave a big stick, get people in line. Natural gas, again, chopping around. Demand destruction. That's the hardest part. Qualcomm, after hours, got up to 194, filled the gap. Now back at 178. Again, earnings, you never know. Again, the numbers come out, and then the guidance. Just watching that one. I think ARM Holdings as well. I'm watching on the 10-minute. Sorry, I can't run a million screens. Was it just ARM? I can't remember. Yeah, after hours, this one is down at 138. Again, I'm on record. I think semis are the easiest short. Look at their performance today. We'll talk about it. Go deeper, dive deep into all the information. Bonds. Told you guys. Be careful. Don't trust it until you break out. However, did say, posted today, keep an eye on today's action. I mean, you gap down. Big volume. We'll see what happens here. Again, I personally think that there was going to be a bottom. There's your opportunity. Near term. Keep it simple, stupid. Right? Meaning big volume at the lows, big gap down. I mean, again, flip the charts upside down. You would think this may be the market. And what I mean by that is like ultimately, would you be surprised if this is the bottom? Just like, would you be surprised the market was near its top near term? Just keeping that in the mind. Dollar. Look at this pop. Whew. Yeah, somebody knew something. Someone always does. Holding up pretty well. VIX back to the 200-day. No shiitake mushrooms. Man, it gives you plenty of risk. I know some people who actually moved a lot of their assets out of the market today because, again, they get mark to market at the close. Not a bad trade if you got out at the highs. Congrats. Did better trading than others and shit. Better than me. Again, that's why we talk about patience. It's really hard to be extremely patient. VIX, look at this. Gaps right down. 200-day. We're at the watch. SPY breaks out. Interesting candle. See if it follows through. Again, keep an eye on this 587 to 585 level. QQQ gets right back to the breakout. Gap and go or gap and trap. I mean, you don't know. However, if you're bullish, this is where, again, you be on red alert just to see what happens. Make sure it follows through. I mean, set your stop at whatever price inside today's candle, I would say. 500 might be the ideal. And if it keeps going, you're bullish. And if it doesn't, you can start looking at shorts. You just take your profits. IWM, look at this monster. Oof. Finally. But again, a doji. This is what's so damn hard about trading, right? You would think like, hey, if this is really strong, you'd just be plowing up. Now, again, we filled some gaps up here. Sorry, up in this area. Testing some levels. Keep an eye on it. Again, I personally can't say always bullish, bearish. I mean, it's not like we're Jim Cramer here going, bull, 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 bear, 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 bull, 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 bear, 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 bull, bull, bear, bear, blah, blah. No, it's not like that. And I would personally say, again, if you had these trades, great. Just be careful. Define your risk. Know what you're doing. DIA had been lagging recently. Look at this. Gets it all back one day. It's trading. Gold. We said somebody knew something. Look at it. We said the CME was raising. Margin calls. We said the miners looked like crap. Silver wasn't following through. Here you go. Now again, long term, very bullish on gold. Near term, just be careful. Silver, same kind of thing. Here we go. We said it's lagging. Why? Waiting for pullbacks. Miners. Everybody and their mom gets mad at me, and I'm like, I don't trust it. Look at this. I mean, when gold was breaking out, why are the miners making new lows? Near term, probably oversold. Worth a watch. Put that on your watch list. See them for the bounce. Makes sense. AEM, again, thanks for Jay Solstice for posting something that people were buying puts on these names. Newmont, they were buying puts on them. AG, makes sense. Look at this stuff, y'all. Again, and it's not opinion. It's just, it is what it is. It's a fact. This is what happened. Interesting AG back testing. Newmont. Again, if gold's going to the moon, why are miners getting crushed? We said watch the 200-day. Gift 43. I mean, here's what gets interesting, right? Pass. Getting back. I mean, look at that. And here's the thing. I always talk about leveraged ETFs reverse split at extremes. Is this the low? Are the miners going to get cooked? That's what I'd be watching. Taiwan Semi. Again, Semi's lagging today. Nothing much. Micron. Nice pop. I mean, again, it's a blend. Nice pop, right? Blend. Again, I personally don't have any individual shorts on. Just have the indexes within, sorry, not indexes, but the actual SMH index or SOXIS inverse, which is SOX inverse, SOXIS. That's what I'm watching. Got it. Said, a little surprised it got down to 20, but not really. AMD, talk about could be oversold. NVIDIA, again, I think this one is the easiest short of our lifetime, but I'm not personally short it. I'd be watching this. Could it break out? Anything is possible, right? After hours, I mean, again, there's some names that aren't acting as well. SMCI, Said if you had this long and you got out of the way, congrats. We talked about kitchen sinking the quarter, the month, the year. I don't know. I mean, you're at the range lows. I don't like anything that has any legal issues, so I would lay off of Intel. Look at that. Nice pop. Again, okay. Here's the thing, right? Trade it. I mean, do you believe in Intel? You go right ahead. You go right ahead. I mean, I would watch, say, maybe somewhere in this channel, funnel. I mean, it looks like a very parallel channel. Could we fill the gap? I don't know. Now, again, it'd be a great return if you traded it. Awesome sauce. I just personally, again, I don't think I have much faith in them long term. I wouldn't. SMH, not much of a I mean, think about the market compared to this. Like SMH up 2.5%, where certain indexes, certain sectors up more, way more. Look at the IDBE up 6%, you know. Worth the watch. Again, lagging. Adobe, okay, oversold, gets the pump. Vendor pump over the 20-day. I don't know. We'll see how long that goes. Apple lagged all day. Agreed with some of the Discord room members, especially Jason. I remember him saying that directly. But yeah, stick into the 100-day. Amazon. Bezos will probably put out another report. He sold more shares today. We'll see if this holds up. Meta, kissing the ring for the DT. We'll see. I mean, choppy. I mean, clearly the 50-day is now support. CRM got a nice pop. But I mean, again, everything did. Watch these gaps. This is the problem. If this was, and this is what I tell you, and again, we don't know anything for sure, but if you're a probability-based trader, if the chart was flipped upside down and these were big gap downs at the lows, you might be going, damn, I should probably take some coverage off of my shorts. Same thing potentially with the longs. Google, we talked about it holding the 100-day. Microsoft seemed to be holding this 405 area. I mean, keep it simple. NDAQI. People were hitting me up and like, is today? And I'm like, that's a weird freaking candle. Weird candle. MicroStrategy, just keep an eye on it. Again, I think it's the easiest long-term short. Look at today's candle. Fills the gap. I don't make the candles. Netflix, Gap fills it. Man, all over the place. Roblox, name we talked about. Chopping at the highs. Watch what happens in the 48 area. You already got it once. Pan W. Again, we like cybersecurity names. Is this a gap and go? I mean, you can trade these very simply. Like, go. Raise your stop. If it's going higher, boom. If it's not, you got issues. And when I say you got issues, like, just keep an eye on it. Look at it. Like, what is it doing? And you go, what do you mean, what is it doing? No, if it continues higher on the breakout, meaning like it just goes, then you're good to go. You are good to go. It's that simple. If it pulls back and it's a trap, that's where you got to be careful. Tesla, we talked about hedging. Thank God, right? We are back near there's a gap here at the 290, whatever, 2 level. Yeah, dodged a bullet. We talked about this. Like, Elon's on the freaking Trump team. Whatever if they're like Elon or not, or you like Tesla or not, like, you knew this always had to be possible. So if you had profits and shorts, you had longs, whatever. That's a pretty big move. Just be careful. Again, I personally not going to sit here and say anything other than, like, in my now mind, it's like, what happens up here at the gap? That's all I'm watching. If I got to go, I got to go. I've had some hedges. They look good. Feel good about them. Cool. Insight. Man, this thing is just do. Again, you're welcome. Please leave a comment. Like, did anyone buy the stock? Because I got 1 or 2 people going, thank you so much. Holy shiznit. You were right. It's going to get bought out. Again, biotech, when we see them, we nail them. It's just, again, not all biotech is buyouts. Everyone's like, oh, it's going to get bought out. No, everything doesn't get bought out. Stop it. Palantir. Okay, here we go. Said watch today's action. We said 3-day rule. Wow, those are big gaps. Again, would I sit here and say, well, I need to short this right off the start? No. Be careful. Be careful. Again, some names just don't short. Smaller, mid, I don't know. Just keep it simple. Again, I don't know why everyone has to do something on every stock. It's like, if you don't know, don't trade it. Don't be your own internal Jim Cramer. Leave a comment if you can understand what I'm saying. Like, you feel like you have to do something. No, you don't. If you don't know. DKNG, oversold. Okay, get it with the market. Got it. Makes sense. I don't know. Watching this one, I'd be watching the 200-day, the 39 area. Airbnb earnings are coming tomorrow. Interesting. 200-day gap fill. Talked about that. Costco goes. I mean, it seems to be holding the 100-day. I mean, they had their same-store sales after hours. They were up 6.5% year over year. I mean, it's pretty consistent, these guys are. So far, so good for them. I mean, I don't know. Watch the 100-day. Starbucks, we talked about. Chop City, FedEx got the levels. Didn't do anything today. Why? Because it's a Fed meeting. I mean, I personally, again, like if you're shorting today's action, you may have gotten your head ripped off, which I'm not surprised. Again, if you're going into the Fed meeting, let's see what's up. I mean, why go all in or why go big? In my opinion, I think the best thing you can do is obviously whatever you're doing, manage risk, be safe, and just see what happens here. I mean, look at like Caterpillar. Holy crap. Okay, I'm telling you, the future is commodities, materials. Look at that. Again, is this a gap to go or a gap to trap? DE, check this out, right? Hits the range highs, backs off. This one makes me cry a little bit. Nucor, again, I like steel. Look at today's action. Oh, holy big ball move. That's a big boy move. Little head and shoulders bottom, big gap. Oof. I'd be watching names on pullbacks. But X, again, big boy moves. But it's what's interesting to see some opposite moves in copper, right? Look at VALE, not much. Arrow, again, we like copper. Big down day. Could this be a capitulation? I mean, again, put that on your radar. I'd be willing to, and again, we don't sell certainty. Like, don't sell yourself on certainty. We say the probability that this could bounce from this candle is pretty strong if this down move is over, right? Does it mean it's the bottom? The bottom forever? You don't know. CCJ, again, I'm not hating on these material names that have already been up, but don't be surprised if they just play games. CF, again, we said ag looked good, but then it's bzz. Now, again, could there be some sort of geopolitical premium built into this? I don't know. Mosaic, NTR, I mean, again, I think long-term, you don't really have a ton of downside. Just don't want to chase. Aaron, right? Look at aluminum. Aluminum is in the future. All right, let's talk about some of the kick in the you know what action today. Look at that. Big, huge volume at the highs. Again, if you didn't hedge and you stopped out, you got to do what you got to do. You can always get back in. And again, this is the thing about trading, right? You say, well, you were wrong. I get it. Look at the risk reward. 31, 48, pulls back. You feel pretty confident about it. Okay, well, here we go. Here's that gap. This is where the market, again, if this chart was flipped upside down, flip your screen up or get on and do a headstand, you'd go, this is about to start a big down move, or this could be a capitulation moment. And so either way, it could be starting an up move, define your risk, or it's the end of the move. JPMO, look at up $25 today. Again, this is the stuff that you see at like extremes. We'll see what happens here. I mean, now people are saying banks are clear to go. Okay, we'll see. Look at that. Morgan Stanley hits a 1.68. Again, I'm impressed. Bank of America, again, Buffett can't sell fast enough. Okay, we'll see what happens up here. Goldman Sachs, right? Again, this is humility at its finest. Thank God, again, didn't have any individual names, didn't have options, just had some fads, which got baked naturally. Part of the game. KRE, we talked about it, right? Always possible. Look at that, Scott. I mean, again, if you look at the close of the day, you go, holy fudge. Just because he won. Are banks out of the woodwork? I don't know. It almost, again, it feels like they're going to hand Trump a crappy economy. And they're talking, and again, whether that ends up being, we'll see. Just keep an eye on the banks. Again, bank. XBI gets back up to the range highs. Be safe. Worth a watch. Jets. I mean, how could you not like the short? But here you go. This is what can be so fudging hard. And it goes from 16 up to 23. Gaps up today. Okay. Start of a big move. Peeking out, right? Housing. I'm telling you, housing's slow. Nothing today. Green candle, I get it, but nothing. I mean, I was looking at XRT against like the retailers. You would think that would be bigger upside. No, not so much. Again, be safe out there. Solar. All right, well, we've told you Trump isn't a fan. Look at that. Sedge, you got 14. All right, we said 15, and then you're back down. Again, could these be near-term oversold? I mean, it's always possible. Watch the levels. I mean, you wicked out of these. First Solar, all over the place. Again, corporate debt, I think you got to be out of your mind to buy corporate debt, but that's just me. USO, again, oil, gas, all that stuff. Again, we'll talk about here in a second, XOP. UNG, again, I personally don't like the product. I like the KOLD in the 80s, maybe even 90s, worth a watch. The XOP here you go. Said if Trump wins, probably bullish. Look, it breaks the trend line, decent volume. We'll see. Continuation is the key. It all looks pretty damn good today. Continuation is the key. CVE, again, we talked about the 16s. Valero, gasoline names, leading down. Nice gap up. Are they pro gaps off the bottom? Keep that in mind. I mean, these might be the easiest trades out there. MPC, popping off the lows. ExxonMobil, I honestly thought it'd be up more today. That candle, not very sexy. Occidental, I mean, I thought it'd be, again, another one. I'd be like, why aren't these up not $3 or $4? No, worth a watch. EQT, up $3. Now, this makes sense. Talked about the trend line. I thought it would get there. Okay. I mean, when you zoom out, remember, they're big, choppy zones, so don't discount the range highs. Could get there very quickly. Last but not least, Flex LNG. Again, I think we'll be natural gas exporters. Again, I appreciate all love, support, generous donations. Again, and if you got hurt today and you're taking a licking, hey, that's trading. I'm not saying like good for you or I don't have empathy. No, I mean, I've had some pain today by nature. But again, we talked about hedging and getting in front of the election because it was pretty much, I've said it multiple times, like guaranteed that he was probably going to win. And again, whether you like politics or not, and who knows what news and what bubbles you live in. But the reality is if you looked out and through the casinos, we talked about the betting platforms, they had him winning. That's who I trust. I don't care about polling anymore. Again, go to the casinos. They're the one taking the bets. And when the odds got pretty high, again, it is what it is. So if you have any questions, you're worried about what to do, I personally would be taking more profits off the market, again, to look for dips later. Because again, if they're going to do what I think they're going to do, which again, we've needed forever, cut the fat. Government, bureaucracy, spending, it's going to have to cut. I mean, we don't have a debt that's fiscally responsible or sustainable. And if that's the case, it's not going to be easy. There's going to be little lumps. We've already talked about the economy. It's already falling off a cliff. Can the market and the economy diverge? Absolutely. However, I would just be careful. That's all I will say. And that, I mean, you don't know. And again, long term, you probably don't matter. It doesn't matter. Again, markets typically go higher. We get that. But near term, you might be putting yourself in a position to get hurt. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Always here to help. Appreciate you guys. Have a great, wonderful evening. Love y'all. Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, the PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.